After days of delays, an international team of investigators in eastern Ukraine has for the first time reached the crash site of downed flight MH17. Explosions echoed near the site as investigators arrived after Kiev announced a surprise one-day halt to its offensive against the rebels. The small team of Dutch and Australian experts, accompanied by international monitors, reached the site after earlier fierce fighting between government forces and rebels stopped them reaching that site. Police and forensic personnel are expected to focus their efforts initially on retrieving bodies still at the site and collecting victims' belongings.
We understand that expert forensic advice says that there could be around 80 bodies still on the site, and this is from people who have been involved in the body retrieval in Kharkiv, where they were preparing the bodies for transfer to the Netherlands, and that expert forensic advice is that there could be around 80 bodies on the site.
And the door is now open for Australian federal police officers to carry weapons in Ukraine after a parliamentary vote. But Foreign Minister Julie Bishop insists those heading to the crash site won't be armed.
After a week in which fighting prevented them from their work, the international observers finally gain access to the crash site. It's been 2 weeks since the disaster, but bodies and wreckage vital to the investigation are still to be found in the area. After pro-Russian separatists had denied the team access, the Ukrainian military paused their offensive to allow them safe passage.
On demand of the UN Secretary General, we declare the day of OSCE, or so-called Day of Silence, in Donetsk region, at the territory where the anti-terrorist operation is carried out. It was done with the aim to ensure full-scale work of the international experts at the site where Boeing 777 was downed.
The immediate priority is to locate the remains and bring them back to the Netherlands, first by train, then plane, then cortege to this military base near Amsterdam. The identification process, already complex, has been hampered by the delays and frustrations in Ukraine. The Dutch are leading the investigation, but it was the Malaysians that managed to secure the data recorders, which are now being analysed. So the two men had plenty to discuss when they met here in The Hague about the problems of the crash site, but also the legalities of trying to bring those perpetrators to justice. And so the Prime Ministers who lost the greatest number meet with a solemn handshake. 80% of those killed on MH17 were Dutch or Malaysian.
For the sake of the grieving families, it is imperative that all remains at the crash site are repatriated as soon as possible. Every single victim must be given dignity and a decent funeral.
Prime Minister Razak then signed the National Book of Condolence before travelling to the army base near Amsterdam, where the dead have been stored. There he and his wife lay flowers and a note. Both leaders know that the instability around Donetsk means further agony for the relatives. For them, the unimaginable wait for news continues, not knowing whether their loved ones still lie in the Ukrainian field. Robert Nisbet, Sky News, The Hague.